You're watching Lucia's Vegan Lifestyle.
Happy Valentine's Day! I'm in red to commemorate this day of love.
I'll show you how to make unique vegan recipes for animal-friendly festivities and every day, only on Lucia's Vegan Lifestyle.
I'm going to show you how to make ragu alla bolognese. The ingredients are familiar, accessible, and it's very easy to make.
You will need 1 block firm tofu drained and crumbled.
I have some fresh from my local family-owned tofu shop in Chinatown.
1 cup chopped walnuts soaked overnight or blanched a few minutes in boiling water.
This is the surprise meat I mentioned. Walnuts are a great meat for this kind of recipe, for stuffed peppers, chile sin carne, raw vegan recipes. It is a great meat.
1 packet tempeh bacon baked for 5 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 carrot, 1 celery stalk, and 1 small onion, each finely diced. 1 cup tomato puree.
I'm using Papa Chef's, my dad's homemade.
1 cup white or red vegan wine. I'm using my dad's homemade wine, which is always vegan. 2 sprigs rosemary. 1 cup plant milk. I'm using unsweetened, unflavored almond milk. 2 tablespoons olive oil. 2 tablespoons plant butter. Salt and pepper to taste. And 1 crushed peperoncino.
I'm adding a little peperoncino in honor of my Calabrian roots. I like a little heat, and this hearty recipe lends itself very well. You can omit it if you're not spicy like me.
First, we'll make the sofritto. Heat the olive oil and butter in a deep pot over a low flame. Add the carrot, celery, and onion, and stir frequently until the onions start to become transparent. Toss in the tempeh bacon and stir for a few minutes, allowing the flavors to combine. Add the crumbled tofu and raise the heat to brown it, stirring continuously and separating the pieces as you go along. Salt and pepper to taste. Add the walnuts and stir to combine. Pour in the wine and let it evaporate until you no longer detect the scent of alcohol. Add the milk and let it absorb over medium heat, stirring occasionally. Salt and pepper to taste. Pour in the tomato puree and stir to combine. Salt and pepper to taste, and give it a nice stir. Add the rosemary sprigs and peperoncino and stir again. Bring it to a boil and cover loosely. Simmer for 2 hours and eccoci, our beautiful, thick ragu alla bolognese. Remove the rosemary sprigs. Serve it with your favorite pasta. I'm using gluten-free linguine. And enjoy. Pasta alla bolognese, LVL-style. Out of this world.
Buonissima. Buon appetito. The recipe I'm showing to you, shaped in a heart, is tartufo di gelato from Calabria, from Pizzo Calabro. which is very close to where my parents were born, in Italy. So it's a very easy recipe, and it's great if you are last minute, if you're a last minute Valentine's Day planner. This is great. You can go to the store right now, get the few ingredients you need, and make this delicious dish for your loved one or for yourself or whomever. I have two flavors here. I have bittersweet dark chocolate and I have mocha. The traditional flavor is hazelnut, but I think chocolate and mocha are great flavors. What we're gonna need is some coconut milk, full fat, or coconut cream. And what you do is you just pour it in a saucepan, and you heat it on medium high until it starts to until it sizzles. So I have a little bit of clumps in here, which we don't want. So I'm stirring it. Do you see this? And it actually heats up really fast. So that won't take long at all. The next thing you're gonna need is vegan chocolate chips. I have these dark chunks here, which are fine. They melt really well. Okay, so now you'll see this is sizzling. It's kind of, can you see that? It's kind of simmering. So what I'm gonna do is take that off the heat. I turn the heat off, pour in my chocolate chips, give it a little stir, and let it sit there for a second so that it melts. This is what we're gonna make. What we're making now is a chocolate ganache. And this has solidified a bit because I made this hours ago and I left it out to show you. The solid is good because you don't want it, of course you don't want it hot. We're gonna fill the ice cream with this. And you don't want it too solid because you wanna have a nice surprise when you bite into that ice cream, when you dig into that. So that's the ganache. And then the last ingredient you will need is cacao powder or cocoa powder. I use raw cacao powder in my daily life. I eat it every single day. So you'll need some of that. And you can see my tools here, the whisk, which I'm gonna use right now. So you see that the chocolate chips have started to melt. So now I'm just gonna stir this, and it's already a ganache. So easy. I love easy, decadent recipes. Okay, so now that this is melted, you're just gonna pour it into a heat-resistant bowl, right? Because you don't want anything to crack while you're doing this. And then we're just gonna set it aside to cool. If you're making this at home, you want it to cool for about an hour or so. You can put it in the fridge or the freezer to do that. But I'm going to set it aside because I already have it ready. Now, the next step here is the fun part, the assembly. I have these heart-shaped forms because it's Valentine's Day, and I wanted to make something that's commemorating this day of love. But the traditional recipe for this is you take, and you can do this at home if you don't have forms. If you don't have a form, you can even use a bowl like this or a bigger one, depending on how much ice cream you want to eat. But the traditional is you wear gloves, of course, you're not freezing your hands, and you just shape the ice cream in your hand like this, like you would like a vegan meatball. And then I'll tell you the steps. I'll tell you the next step, the rustic part, but I'm going to show you how to put it into these molds. See, it's nice and soft now. This ice cream is, I don't know, it's just cashew based. So it's kind of a little bit flaky. It's not creamy, it's delicious. So now you see it's a little bit creamier now that I've left it out. So what I'm going to do is fill one of my heart shapes with it and just kind of smush it down, lining the heart-shaped mold with the ice cream. Let me lift it up to the, so we're shaping it, and you see I'm leaving kind of a little bit of a crevice in there. It's kind of concave, not totally flat. But you want to fill, if you're using a shape like this, a mold, you do want to fill in the sides so that when you're done, it gets that pretty mold shape for presentation. So now we're going to take the ganache, right? And maybe like a half a teaspoon And you see mine is solidified. I think you wanted a little bit more liquid than this, but this is fine. So you just dollop it into the center of your heart. Chocolate in the center of your heart. And then you just seal it. So as I was saying to you, the rustic original version of this recipe is made by hand. So what you would do then, if you're shaping it by hand, like I told you, like the meatball, you would make the ice cream, the vegan ice cream meatball, and then you would either with a spoon or your thumb make a hole in it, put your ganache in, and then you seal the deal. You seal your heart with more ice cream. You seal it up nicely, like so. You see that? It's messy, but you see now it's flat onto the thing. So then you put this in the freezer for about 3 hours so that it refreezes. And when you're done, these molds are great. So if you have a mold or if you're using a bowl, it doesn't matter. When you see that it's frozen, you'll be able to tell because it'll be the same consistency as your ice cream out of the container. So you either invert, you just do this, turn it upside down, and then loosen it like that. And then you'll have the pretty sphere of the gelato, the ice cream. And if you're using these silicone molds are great because they basically just peel out. That's why I love them. And these are vegan molds as well. There's no animal product in that, no latex, so it's great. And then you invert it onto your plate, and then you just dust. I'll show you how to do this. Take a little bit of the cacao powder. Let me do it this way. A little bit. You pour a little in there, and then you just dust your beautiful tartufo with cacao powder.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Mm. It tastes like love. Tartufo di gelato from Pizzo Calabro, a recipe from the 1950s that I have veganized for you for Valentine's Day. One of my very few vices is espresso. A big part of Italian and Italian immigrant culture and social life, it ties me to my roots. So my morning espresso ritual is very important to me. And if you've watched past episodes of Lucia's Vegan Lifestyle and my social media exclusives, you know I love chocolate. Let's make these espresso double chocolate muffins. You will need 2 cups all-purpose flour. I'm making mine gluten-free. 3/4 cup unsweetened cocoa powder. I'm using cacao, which is a superfood and part of my daily diet. 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2.5 teaspoons baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1 tablespoon psyllium husks. 1 1/4 cup vegan sugar, 1 1/4 cup vegan buttermilk. To make vegan buttermilk, squeeze 1/2 a lemon into a bowl and pour in soy milk. Allow to sit for a minute until it thickens and curdles. 1/4 cup vegetable oil, 1/4 cup vegan butter melted and cooled, 2 teaspoons espresso powder, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 cup vegan chocolate chips. I'm using 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, but if you like it sweeter than me, then go for the whole thing. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease 12 muffin cups with vegan butter. In a large bowl, sift the dry ingredients. Flour, cocoa or cacao like I'm using, baking powder, baking soda, salt. Add the sugar, mix and set aside. Whisk the psyllium with the buttermilk, oil, melted butter, instant coffee, and vanilla. Pour the wet ingredients into the dry mixture and stir until combined. The batter should be lumpy, so do not overmix. Add chocolate chips and stir. Spoon the batter evenly among the muffin cups, filling them almost to the top. Bake for 3 minutes. Reduce the oven temperature to 350 and bake for another 12 to 17 minutes. Cool for 10 minutes and remove your muffins from the pan. Shall we try? So good. that is Espresso double chocolate muffins. I'm taking another bite.
Now for one of my favorite recipes. Scadi, or dried figs, are a staple in my vegan kitchen, either plain or dressed up. This recipe is one from my childhood, but leveled up. The original recipe calls for them to be stuffed with walnuts, dried mandarin peel, and perhaps a piece of chocolate, then baked and enjoyed warm. It's a rich yet healthy dessert to bring as a holiday dinner guest or serve your guests, a vegan gift idea, or to kick back with your feet up and indulge on your own, even a quick energy-boosting snack. Let's go to the kitchen.
Look at these beauties. Let's go make them. Here's how. You will need 20 dried figs, cut in half, but not all the way through. Half cup walnut pieces, 5 small mandarin oranges, preferably organic since we're eating the peel, 2 cups water, 1 1/4 cup sugar, 10 ounces vegan chocolate chips, and 1 cup non-dairy milk. Gently wash the mandarins using a vegetable brush if needed. Slice a small piece from the top and from the bottom. Score it and carefully remove the peel. Slice the peel into 1/8-inch strips. Place the strips in a pot and cover with water. Bring to a boil, drain, and repeat. Return the strips to the pot. Pour in 2 cups water and 1 cup sugar. Bring to a boil and reduce the heat to a simmer for 30 to 35 minutes. Meanwhile, prepare your figs. Stuff them each with a piece of walnut and a chocolate chip. Once the peels become slightly translucent, remove them from the heat and let them cool for 5 minutes. Drain the strips, reserving the liquid to sweeten drinks and other recipes. Place the strips on parchment paper and coat 2/3 of them with the remaining 1/4 cup sugar. Place it on a rack to dry overnight. I'm using my dehydrator rack over a plate. Slice the non-sugar coated strips into 1/4-inch pieces. Place 1 piece of the orange into each fig and seal it, pressing the fig edges. Fill a medium-sized saucepan with about 3 inches of water. Bring to a boil. Reduce the heat to simmer and place your bowl of chocolate chips atop the pan. Stir gently until the chocolate chips are melted. When the chocolate is fully melted, remove it from the heat. Place the cup of non-dairy milk in a saucepan and heat to warm. When the milk heats up, pour it into the chocolate and stir until smooth. Once the ganache is smooth, set it aside for 1 hour to cool and thicken. Take some of the orange peel strips and twist them into little twirls. Take the fig by the stem, dip it in the ganache, and place it on a parchment paper lined plate. Take one of the orange peel twists and place it on top. Let them set and cool in the fridge until completely hardened. So lush. I can hardly wait to share them. Do I want to share? Add your own twist or delight in any of the individual components on their own. Find everything you need to make this recipe and more at LUCIA'sVeganLifestyle.com. Let's make vegan, gluten-free, honey chamomile olive oil cake with honeyed strawberries and honey lemon ricotta cream.
You will need 2 cups 1-to-1 gluten-free flour blend, ½ cup almond flour, 2/3 cup olive oil, 1 cup lemon juice, 3 tablespoons lemon zest, 1/3 cup plant milk, 6 bags chamomile tea, 1½ teaspoon almond extract, 3/4 cup vegan sugar, 2 tablespoons baking powder and ½ teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 2/3 cup vegan honey, 2 cups vegan ricotta cheese, and 2 cups sliced fresh strawberries. Preheat oven to 350. Pour the plant milk into a pan and gently warm through without letting it boil. Remove from heat. Add 4 chamomile bags and let steep for 10 minutes to infuse. In a bowl, whisk together the olive oil, two-third cup of the lemon juice, vinegar, almond extract, vegan honey. I'm using the strawberry chamomile honey you'll see in the next steps, which you can make beforehand, and sugar until smooth. Stir in the chamomile infused milk, add the flour, almond flour, baking powder and baking soda, and salt. Mix until smooth, being careful not to overmix or the cake will be more dense. Grease and lightly flour a 9-inch circle pan and pour in batter. Spread evenly and bake for 40 to 45 minutes or until golden brown. Meanwhile, make the strawberries. Bring the honey to a low boil in a small saucepan, simmer 1 minute, and remove from heat. Add the tea bags, cover and steep for 10 minutes. Remove the tea bags and add the strawberries. Toss to combine. I left the leaves on some to add more color and the essence of springtime, and the excess honey from this is what you saw me use in the cake mix if you make the strawberries in advance. So pretty, so delicious. Look at how the honey is coating the strawberries. Gorgeous, so vibrant. It's going to look beautiful on the cake. Okay, place the ricotta in the bowl of a food processor and pulse until smooth and creamy, about 2 to 3 minutes. Add the honey, and pulse to combine. Add ½ tablespoon lemon zest and pulse again. Stir in another ½ tablespoon lemon zest and combine well, stirring until it's fully mixed in. This will look very pretty in the final design. Once you've combined it, taste the cream and add more honey if you prefer it sweeter. This sweetness is perfect for my taste. Remove the cake from the oven and allow to cool for 10 minutes in the pan. Then run a butter knife along the edges to loosen it and prevent cracking. Then, carefully flip over onto a plate to cool fully. Ta-da! This looks so delicious I almost don't want to ice it. Ice with the ricotta cream. This makes a lot, so you can ice it generously or save some cream to dollop on individual servings. You see the pretty speckles of lemon zest? Gorgeous. Top with honeyed strawberries, arranging them according to whatever seems pleasing to you. Sprinkle on the remaining lemon zest and decorate with edible flowers. And voila! Slice. And plate. You see the beautiful texture? Drizzle more chamomile strawberry honey. And enjoy.
Out of this world. And of course, with a glass of vegan Prosecco. Happy Valentine's Day, and let me know what you think of this recipe if you make it. And if you do make it, take photos and tag Lucia Vegan Lifestyle.
Subscribe to Lucia's Vegan Lifestyle on YouTube to watch previous episodes. Go to LuciaVeganLifestyle.com and see what's in store for you to help you live your best vegan life.